Jimmy and the Christmas Tree. Written and read by Rob Plumbly and Max Hutchinson. It was the night before Christmas when this story starts out. In the small town of Bocket, festive cheer was about. The whole town had gathered around Bocket's great tree. There was singing and dancing and much jollity. The streets were all lit, the bells were ringing, yet one little boy didn't feel like singing. His name was Jimmy and he lived on his own. With no mummy or daddy, he was completely alone. Christmas dinner for Jimmy was one mouldy old sprout. The dinner he wanted, the one he dreamed about, was a turkey so roasted, all golden and crispy, with veg and potatoes all mashed up and wispy. But just as that moment, as Jimmy was thinking, he noticed a light that was flashing and twinkling. With a whiff of a whiz and a spick of a sputter, out popped a fairy from a tray full of butter.
"I'm here to bring you kindness, friendship and joy,"
said the sparkling fairy to our hungry little boy.
"I grant you a magic wish, just the one, mind you. So choose which wish you wish to have before this day is through. When you know which wish you want, pop your hands into this tray. And then pim, pom and pimmily-poo, these magic words you say."
With a poof and a ping that were ever so loud, the fairy flew off in a fluffy pink cloud. One wish for me? Whatever should I choose? Wondered little Jimmy, feeling shocked and confused. He could wish for anything. How would you decide? Jimmy grabbed his coat and scarf and took a walk outside. Through the town he plodded, passing by the Christmas tree, all the while dreaming of what his wish could be. Then out leapt a pussycat, all covered in mange.
"Excuse me, sir," he said, "but have you any change?"
My gosh, my goodness, why fancy that? I've never, said Jimmy, met a talking cat. Do you have a name? Asked the flabbergasted boy. Of course, said the pussycat. My owners called me Roy. Then the cat began to purr and shuffled next to Jimmy. Have you any food? He begged. Any scraps that you could give me? My sprout, Jimmy shouted, jumping up onto his feet. It's only very little, but it's something we can eat. Then what are we waiting for, still talking in this alley? There really isn't time for us to dilly or to dally. So off they both whizzed through the streets and round the bends, rushing home to share a meal, these hungry new best friends. But as they were running, little Jimmy's footing slipped. He skidded on the ice, and then in the air he flipped. He flew through the sky at 100 miles per hour, straight into the Christmas tree, standing like a tower. Then what came next was a blinding flash, followed very closely by a thundering crash. The Christmas tree creaked as it swayed to and fro. Then with a great big groan, it smashed into the snow. Everyone in Bocket bolted out of their front door. Then all at once they screamed and gasped at what lay on the floor. How could this have happened?
How on earth can this be?
Well, how can we have Christmas
with no Bocket Christmas tree?
What's all this?
Boomed a voice from the herd. Everyone fell silent. Not a peep, not a word. The mayor stepped forward in his green dressing gown. He looked at the crowd, then the tree with a frown.
Never before in our whole history has Bocket had Christmas with no Christmas tree.
Then what is the answer?
Asked the crowd, full of fear.
Well, there can be no Christmas until this time next year.
Oh no! I'm sorry, Jimmy cried, but there's something I must say. I knocked down the Christmas tree. I ruined Christmas Day.
Oh, it doesn't matter who it was,
A kind old lady said.
nothing can be done now, so get yourself to bed.
Then something caught his eye, something shimmering and bright. The butter tray, the wish, of course. He could make things right. That's it. I've got it. The answer's in my pocket. I can save Christmas for the people of Bocket. I wish for another tree, he began to utter. He took the lid from off the tray and popped his hand into the butter. I could ask for anything but this I ask of you. Bring Bocket a new Christmas tree. Pim, Pom and Pimly Poo. With a whizzing whopping whoosh and another loud kaboom, a pink and shiny hurricane soon began to zoom. Then the Christmas tree was back again, standing tall and glowing. But much to everyone's surprise, the tree would not stop growing. Up and up and up and up and up and up some more. Through the clouds the tree went up, shooting right up from the floor. All the people of the town could not believe their eyes. The tree, they said. It's back again. What a magical surprise. 3 cheers for Jimmy. Hip hip hooray. He nearly stopped Christmas, but then saved the day.
And made it much better.
The mayor hastened to add.
Now go get your parents. Tell your mum and your dad.
Then little Jimmy froze, but it wasn't from the frost. I have no parents, he said, feeling helpless and lost.
Then there's only one answer,
said the mayor thoughtfully.
You can come and live with my wife and me. We don't have much, but enough to share around. And you can even bring with you that cat that you have found. Yay!
What a lovely gift to be given to our lad. The gift of a family, a mum and a dad. But families come in all shapes and sizes, and life can be full of wonderful surprises. It is the night before Christmas as we draw to an end. Jimmy now has a family and a new furry friend. He has a great big grin and a belly full of cake. But it's nearly Christmas Day, so he mustn't be awake. Jimmy closes his eyes as he counts all the sheep. He feels safe, he feels loved, as he drifts off to sleep. The end. You've been listening to Jimmy and the Christmas Tree by Rob Plumbly and Max Hutchinson.